Good evening, good day to all of you. My name is Claudia Eifert, and I'm super excited and happy to see you all on today's call. It's a great call, and it's a very much of an honor and privilege for me to host that call and to bring such a powerful inspirational woman, inspiration mentor to me, to many people out there onto today's call, so that you learn and so that you learn to own your life and to take charge of your life. And with that, I want to introduce my great friend and mentor, and really, I just love that woman, Nancy Failla, author of the book, as you know, of course, with her husband, Don Failla, Own Your Life, but she also has written her own book, which I love too, and that is really focused on women. So I love that, and I love Nancy to tell a little bit about that. But really, we want to go to and today talk about how to focus. How to focus on one thing till you are successful. Of course, we're always talking about multiple sources of income. We always talk about having different income streams built up. But eventually, to break through in one, you got to really focus on something until you make it, and then you can build up more income streams. So with that, I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to have to introduce Nancy, so that she's all yours. Thank you, and hello, Nancy. Are you there?
Yes, hello Claudia, and hello everyone. It's always a privilege to have the program Live Your Life, because that's what we're all doing, is trying to live our life. And we have said many times on this program that, it's all about the choices that you make as you're going through your life. And that's not always easy, because we all have very busy lives. We're all going in very many different directions, and things are always changing in our life. You always know nothing seems to stay the same. It's always something is blowing up here or something is going over there, and just to be able to keep that all together, it's not an easy thing. So Claudia wanted me to talk to you today about focusing and the different distractions that we have. And it's so difficult to get off track and to do too many sidetracks, as we say. So how do you focus? Well, I like to think of, I have a little talk with myself every day, and a big talk sometimes. But you have to kind of sit down, maybe in an easy chair, and kind of think about where your life is headed today. Now things are changing, and you've got to have balance in your life, and you've got to be flexible. All these things that we learn from the law of attraction and time management, and oh my goodness, there's just so many things coming at us. But I want to talk to you, because your life is what is important to you. And you are the one that are going to make the choices to decide whether you're going to be successful or not in any area of your life. Now, I'm a firm believer, if you are happy, you can be successful in any aspect of your life. Attitude plays such a huge thing in our life. And if we can be around positive, like-minded people going in the same direction, life is a joy. But most people are just scurrying around in circles, and, they don't really have any plan. So when you sit down and have a talk with yourself, you've got to decide what's really important to you. You have to ask the question, what gets you out of bed in the morning? Now, for a lot of people, let's face it, fear probably gets them out of bed, because they got to go to their job, and if they don't get to their job, their boss isn't going to be too happy, and you might not have that job too long. But the whole idea is if you have a job, it's nice to have something that you enjoy doing. And if you don't enjoy doing it, then maybe you need to make some different choices in your life. You have to decide exactly where you're going. Now, you may have to stick with that for a little while, but it doesn't mean you have to be there forever. Because remember, the whole idea, if you're not happy, what's it worth? But you got to kind of go in that direction. So what I do and what I recommend to people is you've got to decide what's really important to you, what you really want to accomplish in your life. So I kind of think of it as like a mountain. And at the top of the mountain is what you really want to accomplish, what you really want in your life, what you really want to be successful at. Now, obviously, you're not just going to jump to the top of the mountain. You got to start at the bottom. You got to get your hiking boots on. You got to get your gear. You got to get your water. You got to wear your helmet or whatever other gear you need. And it starts off with little steps, little baby steps. There's no elevator that you can ride to the top of the mountain. You got to go step by step. Hey, sometimes there's gravel on that mountain. You might slip back. But you keep moving forward, step by step. So first you got to decide what you want to focus on. You got to focus on getting to the top of the mountain if that is your goal. And that's everybody's goal if they want to be successful. So what do you choose to focus on in your life? That's the question. What do you choose to focus on in your life? Now, as I've gone through my life, there are different things you focus on, not only in different parts of your day, of your month, of your entire year, or your life. And things are changing all the time. That's where the flexibility comes in. So say you want to really be successful in the opportunity that you've chosen. And let's face it, opportunity is everything. Even though you might have a job, maybe you're at home raising children, maybe you're traveling all over the world, but you still have to know exactly where you're headed and what your ultimate goal is. So to be able to get there, time management plays a huge part in all of this because we all have many aspects of our day. Now, I know that in my life, I have many things that I keep track of. Lots of things that are important. I got a lot of fun things too in my life, but they all take time. And time is so important in our life. And so many people waste it on negative things. And if you're going to focus, you've got to be positive. You've got to be able to, anything that may become negative into your life, there's a reason for that. And you've got to be able to work around that. But it leads you into different opportunities and gets you in different areas. So when something happens to you that's maybe not so great, it's not maybe a temporary distraction, but you got to get back on point. Now, what really helps me and what really helps a lot of people is to take a picture of what is important to you, of what you really want to accomplish in your life. See, because many times maybe things don't turn out exactly the way you want it, but if you can pull that picture up on your cell phone, or if you have a physical picture on your refrigerator or your drawer or in your purse or in your wallet, it kind of reminds you of where you're headed because you got to focus like a laser beam of the things that are important to you, and you have them in all aspects of your life. Now, watching our granddaughter play tennis is very important to us. It brings us great joy. Plus, when you're a sports person, it's nice to have some support there, some family support. Hey, tomorrow we're leaving for Las Vegas, so Jessica is playing in a big college tournament at the University of Las Vegas, and then she's going to play in a pro tournament in Red Rock. See, this is fun for us, and it's important. What's important to you? What brings you joy? What makes you happy? And see, you always want to be able to do those fun things too. And when you accomplish each little step along the way, you got to celebrate. You know, life can be really fun depending upon how you look at these things. And that's why you got to decide for yourself when you're talking to yourself. Do you want to live your life in black and white? Or do you want to live it in color? How about Technicolor? You see, you got a choice here. You can decide how you want to live your life. Now, you got to take a picture. I'm all for pictures, but I'm a very visual person. Maybe you want to hear something, whatever is important to you. Sometimes colors flash things into people's lives. You know, everybody's different, but you need to have a schedule. You got to have a plan. You got to know exactly where you're going. And, you know, a person can really be happy if they have hope. You got to have some hope. And if you're happy, you know you're going to be successful. And I keep telling people, you got to live strong. You got to live with passion. You got to live happy. It's your choice. You see, and I tell people, you will have passion when you know what you want. No more drifting through life. No more not knowing exactly what you want to do. Many of us may have to sit down and give ourselves a little conversation maybe several times a day. But the big thing is you want to stay positive. So you got to put maybe a smile on your face. It may not be so easy for some of you, but you got to keep trying to do that because you only want to have positive expectations. And that's what HOPE stands for, H-O-P-E, having only positive expectations. Because if you have hope, you will have happy. A lot of people, all they want is peace of mind. You know, my husband and I, we're networkers. And it's so much fun because to me, networking is a paid social life. And I'm sure Claudia feels the same way. We get to meet so many people. We get so many friends. We get to meet someone, and then we get to meet the people that they know, and wherever you are in the world. When you're with an international company or even one that's on the move, boy, it keeps getting more and more exciting and more fun. I mean, truly, when you're a networker, it is a paid social life. And that makes it even easier for you to focus because pretty soon you got so many friends wherever you're going, and of course with Skype and, you know, with all social media now, you have friends literally all over the world. But again, you have to be able to have some time management here. I mean, a lot of you can probably spend your whole time on Facebook or any kinds of social media because you got to remember the difference between a dream and a goal of being successful is you got to have a plan. Well, if you don't have a plan, you're just going to be spinning your wheels and you're going to have too many distractions. You're going to be torn like a rubber doll just being pulled in many directions. And that's why you got to be like a laser beam. And you got to remember the difference between your dream and reality is called action. Well, that reminds me of the action book. You know, if you're a networker, you obviously want to read the Own Your Life book, the 45-second presentation that'll change your life, and the new action book is awesome because it's like a workbook. But we don't like to say work because in networking, you know, you don't work hard, you work smart. You use the tools, you use technology. You have a lot of people that are more than happy to help you. They'll answer any of your questions. They'll do whatever they can to be of assistance to you. So you got to focus. You got to follow one course until you're successful when you're in an opportunity. That's for sure. And you see the acronym for FOCUS, F-O-C-U-S, is perfect. It stands for Follow One Course Until Successful. F-O-C-U-S, follow one course until successful. Well, there it is. So now is the time to take some action. But you got to remember, if you're going to take some action, what do you need? You need discipline. Discipline. That is very important for most people. And you see, if you don't have that discipline with your plan of action, you're not going to be going as fast up that mountain as you might like to be. So you got to work smarter, not harder. You got to use technology. You got to be able to use the tools. And you got to keep your focus positive. You know, you don't beat yourself up. Hey, some days, things just aren't exactly what you had planned. But I never beat myself up. I used to when I was a lot younger, but I don't do that anymore. I keep my focus positive, and I keep trying to do better each day. The way I look at it, I'm only in competition with myself. That's it, just myself. And I know my plan, and I know what I'm focusing on to get to the top of the mountain. And once you get to the top of the mountain, then maybe you want to go hike another mountain. And that's possible as time keeps going on. But I asked Don today, I says, Don, why can't people focus? And he said, well, people keep starting over all the time. And you're never going to be successful if you keep starting over all the time. You got to plant your feet and you got to keep moving forward. You got to keep going up that mountain. So you got to feel good about what you're doing. You've got to ask for help when you need it. You can't be shy. That's what we learned from a man in Nigeria, a very successful networker. And he said he built this up for a long time. It's a 3-letter word. All you have to do is ask. A-S-K. Most people are more than happy to help you wherever you might be. And that is so true. So you don't need to be shy. People really admire people that have their plan and are focusing and trying to get somewhere. But you got to be patient. You got to be persistent. You got to do all those things, to get there. It's not going to happen overnight. But if you've got your plan, and let's face it, people are watching you. They're watching you close. And I think what's really funny is that when people are watching you, they get FOMO. Do you know what FOMO is? F-O-M-O? It's fear of missing out. People don't want to miss out. Maybe they got a lot of things going on in their life. But if you've got an opportunity and they can see that you're focused and you're moving forward, they don't want to miss out. So, they can go with you. It's a lot more fun when you can climb the mountain with someone else, or maybe a whole team of people. And you can help each other too. I see these mountain climbers, they got ropes and hooks and all these things, and they really help each other. If someone slips, well, there's somebody there to catch you. And that's just the way it is in life. Whatever you might be focusing on, in whatever area of your life. And look at it this way. If you're home raising children, and it's just, I look at our son and our daughter-in-law, they have 4 children. 3 of them are teenagers now. This is a real challenge. 2 of them are already driving. Another one's going to start driving. It's a handful. But like I tell them, they're growing up fast, and they're not going to be there forever. And pretty soon, you're going to have a whole different life when you have that empty nest. So even if you have little kids at home, and I know a lady who I work with who's got 2 little kids at home, and she used to be a working woman, and I think there are times when she wishes that she was back on the job. But like I tell her, the time goes really fast. So whatever it is in your life, it's not going to last forever. And so many people want to own their life. They want to have time, money, and health. That's what it means to own your life. And you'd like to have it as young as possible. And you want to be able to share it with as many people as you possibly can. Oh, own your life is time, money, and health. But I always add fun. Because people have to have fun. That's what makes life so enjoyable. So if you have a hobby or a sport or something you really enjoy doing, you got to do that too. Whether it's every day or every week, you got to go on a holiday now and then. You got to have things that are really fun that are going on with you. Because when Friday rolls around, you know about TGIF. Thank goodness it's Friday. A lot of people, they live for the weekend, and then they got to go back to work on Monday. Well, you see, our plan is when Friday rolls around, it can still be TGIF. But that stands for thank goodness I'm free. And when you have an opportunity where you can be successful and have cash flow coming in, that gets pretty exciting because people want to be free. They want to have financial freedom. They want to be able to be away from the job all the time if they're not wild about their job. So you have an opportunity to be able to do that, to own your life. You know, the Own Your Life movement is on all over the world. We have the training materials that are in over 20 languages. We've got 20 publishers around the world. And I always tell people, keep it simple, make it fun, and people are going to want to join you. And if they see that you're having a good time and you're helping people, there is nothing better in life than to be able to help a person have a better life. So when you can focus and exactly go where you want to go, so get happy and you'll be successful. I use BNB a lot of times. BNB stands for believe, nurture, and build. Remember, we're networkers. And, you know, when you believe what you're doing and where you're going, and of course women are so good at nurturing, men are too, but, you know, women do a lot of multitasking. I have determined that women probably can multitask probably many times better than a man. That's just kind of part of our DNA. It's the way we do things. But when you have that opportunity to be able to keep nurturing and helping people, then you can build. B&B. Believe, nurture, build. Whatever you're building. So you just keep looking toward the top of the mountain. That's the direction that you're headed. And that's where you want to go. Because I truly believe, and I'm sure Claudia believes this too, that people can achieve anything if they feel the goal is worth it. If it's worth it and you believe it, then you are on your way to success. And that's why the tools are so important. So I encourage you, if you're a networker or want to be a networker, you got to read the book. You got to get the action book, and that just helps you understand it so much better. You got to wear your Own Your Life pin. I mean, these are all tools that help you, and we've talked about this many times on this program. So you got to take advantage of the opportunity that's presented to you. So the big thing is, now listen to this. You can't keep listening to broke and negative people. You're not going to focus and get to the top of the mountain if you keep doing that. So don't drag yourself down. Don't be with negative people. I mean, there are times, let's face it, you got to be with that negative uncle or that aunt that's maybe not real supportive of you, but maybe you only have to be there for a holiday dinner. And you don't have to listen to that all the time. And change the subject. Your life is a story. Let's face it, we all have lives and they're all stories. I tell Jessica all the time, you're making your life a bestseller. She's moving up in the pro ranks. We're so excited for her. She's up in the 600s now in the world. I mean, any sport isn't easy, but there's a lot of competition out there. And whatever it is that you want to do, whether it's a hobby, a sport, a job, a networking opportunity, whatever it is, if you lose all your excuses and you stick with positive people, you will get results, without a doubt. That's just the way the law of attraction works. That's the way the world works. So it's time to move forward and get a better life. I don't know about you, but I know for sure Claudia wants to see more, do more, and be more. And so do I. And we keep doing that, and we keep moving around the world being able to do that. You know, we change people's lives one person at a time, and we give them hope. We know they can do better. We're in the people business. We pay it forward every day. See, what is important to you? And what are you looking forward to do? I know we love to travel, and a lot of people, they travel in their minds. Some people travel in their hearts. Some people actually go somewhere. Like Tibby and Carla, they're in Tenerife right now. They're on a 2-week holiday. They actually went somewhere. How exciting is that? And Tibby's always going out and doing more training and doing more things, so much into self-improvement. See, we all have that opportunity to be able to do that. and we can enjoy every minute of it. Isn't that so exciting? You see, this isn't a trial run. This is our life. So this is the real thing. So why don't we just get on with it and do the things that are really important? You know, have that little talk with yourself. Focus on exactly what you want to do. Cherish your life. Um, cherish not only your life, but your health, your family, your friends. Those are the things that money can't buy. And you will define your true wealth. I read a couple months ago that if you have money, you're rich. But if you have time, you're wealthy. So you have the time to do the things that are important to you. And that's why we're networkers, because you can have money and time and make a difference in the world. You have everything, and that is very, very exciting. So Claudia, I want to thank you. If you have any questions or anything you want to add, if anyone else has any questions, now's the time.
Thank you, Nancy, so much for your inspiration. Like always, I'm really, really happy to have you on the call. So we are happy to have you on the call. So Swiss Gold Global is really happy. Let me see if there are some questions coming here. So folks, you can ask some question if you like, whatever you have, or maybe think of some question you have for the next time when Nancy is on the call, because here you get actually the chance to be able to ask questions from such a woman who has this vast knowledge of experience, and we don't just get that so likely. So it's very hard usually to get to mentors. So if you don't have questions now, think of some questions for the next time you want to ask Nancy, or email your questions to support@swissgoldglobal.com. I think that would be great too, because then really we can do some, really give you some great insights on really what it takes to become successful. So Nancy, I'm not seeing any questions right now, but I'm really happy always to hear you, of course. You know that I'm happy to see you, I'm happy to travel with you, I'm happy to experience the great things of life with you. So, you know, we had some great times traveling around the world, you know. And it's always a pleasure, and I just wish that for so many people that they could and they can achieve that. So thank you so much for being here, and really get onto the book, get onto the training book, because you see that's really what's important. I mean, I had to do it myself. I had to go through over and over and over and over again, because we don't get it the first time sometimes, not even the second time. So it's so important, the repetition, and to really read. I mean, Nancy didn't write it because, yeah, of course she did write it because she had fun writing it, but she wrote it because she wanted to help you from her experience. And so she is successful over decades, and Adonis is successful over decades with it. And it works. And so if it worked for them, why would it not work for you? But you just got to get on and as Nancy said, focus. Okay. So thank you, Nancy. Thank you for being here. And I very much look forward meeting you soon in some of those beautiful places. Thank you, Nancy. And thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. Okay, let me stop the recording.